And hello, everyone, and welcome aboard to the Elks Lodge. Jack Benedict here with Coach Paul Tortorella. This is Hawk Talk, and we do this every Monday night between 6 and 7 o'clock. Good to have you along. We have a nice crowd here tonight. We're going to talk about the conference championship with Kutztown. We're going to talk about the upcoming playoff game. And how about congratulations, 21st time IUP's in the NCAA playoffs. That's just not a gimme. Believe me, they work hard to get there. And we have a special guest coming up. One of our long snappers is going to be along with us at the 6:30 mark. Also, we have a giveaway for a gift card from one of our sponsors, the Meredith Inn. And we have loads of questions here for the coach as we get going. Of course, the game Saturday was a tight one, a tough one. And Kutztown won it 28-23. Just a look back, Coach, give me overall your assessment of the game as a whole.
Well, looking back on the whole thing and players, coaches, everybody looking at it, we kind of thought missed opportunity. The first half, we go in 17-14 with the lead, and we felt like we should have been up by at least 10. We had the fake punt, and we misaligned. We're going to be first and 10 on the plus 26 after that. Just a total mental error there. Both touchdowns in the first half came on third down, and we had two missed assignments on both plays, and felt like we kind of helped Kutztown out that way. And then, the second half, the third quarter was not a great quarter for us. But we really thought at halftime we should have been up by more than 3 points, to be honest with you. So, at times during the game, we felt like we really had our way at times, and they obviously did also. We got the ball with 3 minutes to go, down 5, with a chance to win it. They're really good, in all three phases. Just like we feel like we just missed an opportunity to knock them off. We felt like, if you look at it statistically, the two areas we got hurt in were giving up too many sacks, negative plays. And then our defense kind of let them stay on the field too long because we couldn't get off the field on third down, and we weren't great against the run. Both teams only had 3 explosive plays. So, the points were scored, but they weren't off of big plays, But they had 3 long drives that we got to get off the field, on third down. And so I think the difference in the game is really they were 50% on third and fourth down. We were 30% on third and fourth down. Our problem is with the negative plays, we had third and long situations. With their run game, they were getting in very good third downs, third and 2, third and 3, third and 4. And that was kind of the difference. That's how their percentage was so high and ours was so low. And everybody says, well, okay, that's one thing. Well, that means they keep the ball. And when we're not making first downs on third down, that means we don't have the ball.
And they had the
34 minutes, they had the ball for time of possession. Yeah. Now, the interesting thing about it, which kind of shocked me, and I realized it midway through the first quarter, they were snapping the ball with 2 seconds on the play clock. So that led me to believe that they were a little bit concerned about defending our offense. It was, every snap there was 2 seconds on the play clock. So they didn't, they wanted to keep our offense off the field, and defensively at times we played pretty good, and then there's other times we couldn't get off the field. I think too that first drive when we took it and went right down the field on the first series, it kind of, showed them that, we meant business.
Yeah, it woke
we
them
were
up.
there.
Well, they'd never been scored on.
Right, and they'd never been behind, and they were behind 3 times in the first half. But at the end of the day, it's a close game. It's a one-score game. We fell short. They deserved to win the PSAC championship, so now we're on to the regional, and hopefully we can survive and advance and see them again.
And it's so much more entertaining and fun when you get back in the playoffs,
right.
That's for sure. Here's a question from a former player who lives in the Pittsburgh area, and also, of course, a big fan for the coach. According to the game drive chart, we had 6 possessions in the first half for 219 yards, 4 possessions for 69 yards in the second half. What defensive adjustments did Kutztown make in the second half that basically shut down the offense? Was that scheme or execution?
Well, it was more of our execution. I mean, we had 2 plays on one drive where we were 1st and 10 on the 49-yard line, and we blew the protection on a play action, and we got 2 guys running wide. It's going to be a touchdown. But we couldn't get the throw off. He got blindsided because we messed the protection up. Mm-hmm. We got Massey running down the hash, wide open, and we got Chamonix running down the sideline. They're wide. It's going to be a touchdown. We didn't get the throw off. So that's a 6-yard loss. So now it's 2nd and 16, and you think, like, yeah, we're in trouble here. We're probably going to have to punt. We throw a quick screen to Whitlock, and he drops it. If he catches it, it's going to go big. You know, we had it matched up. We had everybody blocked downfield, and the closest guy was on the backside hash, and he would have had to come over and make an open field tackle in a lot of space on Whitlock. Mm-hmm. So those were 2 plays right in a row where we lost opportunities. And then, you know, the other 2 series is negative plays. I mean, it's 3rd and 16. We run a screen pass, and we only gain – we actually have a good play. We gained 14 yards, but, you know, we're short, and we got a punt. And then the drive before the last drive, we got the kick returned to the 48-yard line and went right down and scored. The funny thing about that play is the protection breaks down. If the protection doesn't break down, Coleman's wide open. It's going to be an easy touchdown. Mm-hmm. The protection breaks down, so Matt has to scramble, and they kind of recover, and he still I mean, Reevy made both touchdown scramble throws were unbelievable by Reevy. And the touchdown to Whitlock, they couldn't have covered it any better. It was great throw and they covered the play. Mm-hmm. So, you know, he scrambled and got out of trouble twice, and on both those plays he hit Coleman for touchdowns. Mm-hmm. He played an unbelievable game because he did take some shots. He's really tough. He might not look like he's very tough, but that kid is tough. He took some shots Saturday. Because they have 2 big-time defensive ends, mm-hmm. very similar to Ashland. Ashland's 2 DNs. The one DN at Ashland's might be Player of the Year in Division II football on defense. These 2 guys at Kutztown, they're Pullman, who got Player of the Game, and Redder. They're not far. They're really good, and you know we had some trouble with them. And sometimes it wasn't the tackles either. It was, you know, breakdown. You know, the guard had to help the tackle. We didn't. The one was the play action, and we got sacked from the backside because the back didn't pick them up. But we went against 2 big-time defensive ends Saturday.
Yeah, and we were aware of the other guy, and then Pullman comes up with big plays. Right. As you said, he wins the MVP. Here's something for you. I'm talking about Reevy, and we'll get to some of his stats. He's record-breaking. He's going to set a couple of records on Saturday. I know he won't have to do much, and he'll do a lot. But there was a play where when Kutztown got the lead at 21-17, that was a play. It was an unbelievable throw. Novak almost went down. He almost sacked him on that play.
Yeah. I mean, Novak's really good at avoiding the rush and getting outside. He's really quick. You think you got him contained, and he's out pretty quick. Mm-hmm. Twice we had him contained, and he got outside us because he's quick. And he doesn't throw any interceptions. He hasn't thrown an interception all year. We got our hands on one ball on Saturday, but he's very careful with the football. He won't throw the ball in traffic. He made 2 great throws on fade balls. The one time into the boundary against Noah Johnston to Krajcik. And the other one, the back shoulder on Frazier. I mean, Frazier's got really good coverage. It's a great throw and catch. I mean, you got to give him credit. So yeah. I thought they earned their 2 touchdowns in the second half, Kutztown. I think we helped them in the first half tremendously on both their touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. What happened on the Whitlock to Reevy 2-point attempt?
Well, they did a great job. We thought the safety would leave when we brought Massey across the field, and he just stayed back there. So he had Reevy covered. So Whitlock, tried to create, and he was going to reverse field and run it, but they, the pursuit was going to get him. So he threw it up the mat in the corner of the end zone, and, I thought it was interference myself personally, but they didn't call it,
Do you see that on the video?
Well, the rule isn't you can face guard and do what he did, okay? You don't have to turn and play the ball. Some people don't realize that's an old rule. So what he did, that was fine, but he impeded Reevy from coming back to the ball. And Matt still almost caught it. Mm-hmm. The same thing happened to us on the first series of the game with Amigatcher. Same exact thing. He didn't play the ball. He was running with the guy. The guy tried to come back for it. And, Amigatcher, there was contact, and they threw the flag on Amigatcher. Now, that was pass interference. That was a good call. So if you called that, I didn't see very much difference in the call against us on the first series than the call in the corner of the end zone on the 2-point play. He still impeded the receiver from coming back to the ball. So, yeah. And that was a big 2 points now. We knew on that drive, obviously with the numbers that we were going for 2. We knew before we even scored we were getting ready to go for 2. Mm-hmm. And it would have cut it to 3 and would have put us within a field goal.
Yeah. We're coming down to the end. On the last drive, there's the sack, the guy we just talked about a little while ago. The final tackle on a 4th and 1, he was in there so quickly.
Yeah.
He almost got the ball before
they
moved.
What
happened there?
You got to give them credit. They moved the front right at the last minute, and they kind of gambled on that last 4th and 1 to stop us. I could see why they did it, but we're still 70 yards away from scoring a touchdown, and, we don't have that much time. So I give them credit for doing what they did, moving to it late, and then they executed it. Now, people don't realize on that last series, we had Chance Battle at left tackle because Koval was out, okay? We had to move Fuchs to left guard, okay? And then we had to play Pierce Cannon at right guard, and Nelson was the center, and McDonough was the right tackle. So we had some injuries in the second half. We were Chance isn't a tackle. We had to play him at left tackle.
Yeah, so almost everybody was out of position.
Everybody except Nelson and McDonough were Pierce hadn't played the whole game. He was in there on the last drive.
Yeah.
And, they got the sack. In the play they got the sack on, we had a running back angle route that was open, and it would have probably we probably would have got about 15, 20 yards early in the drive. Mm-hmm. I really thought we were going to go down and score and win the game, to be honest with you. The pass to Coleman, their corner makes an unbelievable play, just dives and trips him up and gets him by his foot for an 8-yard gain, which made it 4th and a yard and a half. If he doesn't make that, he's going to gain another 25 yards because they're in a 2-man coverage and their safeties are really deep. Mm-hmm. So when you play that defense, you got to watch if you get beat inside and the guy catches the ball and you don't make the tackle, there's nobody else around except for those 2 deep safeties.
Yeah.
So there's probably on our offense 3 or 4 plays that we missed on. Just it was close. Mm-hmm. And then, defensively, at the end of the day, we didn't play good enough on defense to win against that good of a team on the road, to be honest with you.
One of our fans from the list, the fans speak, did their O-line wear down your D-line in the second half?
I don't think we got worn on. Actually, they're really big, and we're not very big. So we actually, other than the one series, we actually played the run a little better in the second half than we did in the first. The first 2 plays of the game, they had a 12-yard run and an 11-yard run. They ran the ball actually better in the first half against us. The second half, we started to play a little bit better when it was, down to crunch time where we had to stop them when we were selling out to stop the run and make them throw the ball. Mm-hmm. On that last drive, they're a great team. We would have saved 3 more minutes on 3rd and 8. The quarterback scrambles and throws, and the guy makes a diving catch just in front of the first down marker on 3rd and 8. So now that's another 2.5 minutes that we lose on the clock because their guy made a great play.
Yeah.
You know, and it's they made some plays on both sides of the ball, and we did too. Our kicking game was pretty good. We had great returns. We returned the opening kickoff to the 40-yard line, went right down and scored. Then late after they had a penalty, they squib kicked it, and Gampy ran it back to their 49. So kicking game wise, Andrassi makes a 50-yard field goal at the end of the half. We had a good late 2-minute drive at the end of the half there. So there were a lot of good things, but again, what you talk about when you play really good teams, that's all that's left now. There's 8 teams left in a region and everybody's good. Is if you're not detailed in what you're doing, these teams are going to expose you. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened to our defense on 2 different occasions in the first half. We got exposed because we had 2 blatant missed assignments, and they exposed us. Now, you might get away with that against an average team or a team that's not that good,
wow.
But you're not getting away with it against a Kutztown, first and foremost. And it's the same thing when we're on offense. You can't drop the screen pass when it's there, or you can't blow the protection when we got 2 guys running down the field wide open. Like you're gonna get exposed, and they sacked us on that one. So overall, we probably, I'm not saying we played a bad game, but we didn't play our best game now, and they have something to do with that now. Like some of our guys get really frustrated on the sideline and on the phones, our coaches, and you got to understand that like they're a really good team. Like they're going to make plays on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game, and you just got to play the next play. And I thought we did a great job when we got down 11. We ran back the kickoff to the 49, went right down and scored, cut it to 5. Eventually did get the ball back with 3 minutes to go. We still had 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning timeout, so we technically had 3 timeouts. And we can throw the ball. We can pitch and catch. We just had a breakdown on the first one, and we got sacked. And then the second one, we hit Cooper or Coleman, and their guy made a great play, or it's going to be a first down. And then on 4th down, I got to give them credit for what they did. They had the right call. They kind of gambled, and it was the right call. They got us on it.
We heard afterwards that the running back, Burkhart, suffered cracked ribs. Did you hear anything about that?
No, I don't know nothing about that.
Okay. Well, I was going to say because they've already lost one running back,
right.
But that's the story for another time. Okay, stay with us. We're going to be back here with another segment with Coach Tortorella. It's Hawk Talk coming to you live from the Elks Lodge on Renda Digital TV and U92Radio.com. We'll be right back.
For food, fun, and entertainment with a purpose? The Elks Lodge 931 in Indiana is more than a place. It's community. Become an elk. Enjoy food, fun, bowling, music, events, and a banquet hall. Distinctly American, Elks are rooted in brotherly love, charity, fidelity, and justice. Annually giving tens of thousands to local charities. We give back not at the Elks, as an elk. See them at 475 South 13th Street and on Facebook today. Elks Lodge 931, where community and compassion meet.
From furniture to flooring, mattresses to accessories, you'll save big at Dowd's. Dowd's showrooms are filled with furnishings from America's finest manufacturers. You can save thousands on Dowd's floor samples and receive incredible savings on custom orders. Whether you're looking to furnish one room or your entire home, right now it's all on sale at Dowd's. Drive a little, save a lot. Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowd's?
Located along the beautiful Allegheny River in downtown Katanning, the Meredith Inn provides an atmosphere of casual, upscale dining. If you're looking for the perfect venue for your next event, look no further than the Meredith Inn. Family gatherings, wedding rehearsal, business meeting, or just a night out. It's perfect for all occasions, and their menu has something for everyone, leaving all full and satisfied. For more information, visit them at themeredithinn.com or call 724-793-7364.
And welcome back, everybody. Jack Benedict here with Coach Paul Tortorella. Hawk Talk coming to you live from the Elks Lodge. The game Saturday at Miller Stadium, Signetti Field. Kickoff, keep it in mind, is 1 o'clock. We'll be on the radio at 12:30 with the pregame show. Coach, question here from one of our fans. Were the missed tackles in the secondary a product of poor technique?
Yeah, poor angles. Two of them were bad angles. And the other two we didn't wrap up. And you know, those guys with the ball in their hand from Kutztown are pretty good, too. You know, it's not like just tackling a stiff out there in the open field.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to give credit where it's due. And,
absolutely.
You know, their numbers, when you took a look, beforehand.
Right.
Statistically, you brought it up last week. They're just off the charts. Here's another one from one of our fans, Assumption, which is the team coming up here that we're playing, of course, at 1 o'clock on Saturday, has impressive sack numbers. You alluded to that a little bit. How do you protect better? They had six sacks last week.
You can at times put more guys in on the protection, but really that wasn't really our issue. We got beat twice one-on-one. Their guy was better than our guy, to be perfectly frank. And there was a combination of some things. We had enough guys in the protection because they hardly blitzed at all. They were in. They rushed 4, and they brought a 5th guy every now and then. So we had, you know, when we were getting the ball out quick in the first half, we were moving the ball up and down the field because, you know, 2 seconds, the ball's getting out, and we're pitching and catching, and you're not going to get there rushing 4 in 2 seconds. We got behind the chains and had to go to a 7-step drop on 3rd and long, and obviously it takes longer to throw the ball in those situations, and they teed off on us. And they, again, very much like Ashland, their 2 defensive ends are very good like Ashland's 2 defensive ends. And, you know, at times they just outmatched us. Reevy did a great job. He avoided a couple sacks. You know, obviously the 2 touchdowns, but there's 2 other scenarios where he avoided sacks and at least threw the ball away. You know, but you know we gotta be better at protecting the quarterback, obviously, and we'll work on it this week. But yes, Assumption has, I think, they're 4th in the country in sacks. They've got 2 really good defensive ends too. That we're going to have to be concerned with. That's probably the number one thing that they do defensively is sack the quarterback. You know,
I'll bring it up since you mentioned about the offensive line. I saw that Tanner Fuchs had gone out.
Right.
Now, what's his situation?
I mean, they're all
going
to play. They were banged up. They couldn't, you know, at the end of the game, like I said, we had, you know, first of all, Okora blew his knee out in preseason camp. Then Shovlin's out. He's another starter. So we're down 2 guys already. And then we had Koval and Fuchs both go down during the game and come in and out at different times. So we're a little banged up there, and we're thin because we have 2 guys that we were counting on and have some depth in the O-line. And one tore his ACL and the other one has hurt his knee, and we're still hoping to get him back.
Yeah. On the defensive side, Goodwin, I don't know how he manages to even get in there. And then of course, Noah Vaughn went down.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's just during the game. You know, guys get banged up and hurt, and Vaughn came back. Goodwin couldn't get back into the game, but he'll be okay to play this week.
Well, that's
I think defensively we're in pretty good. Really, it's just the offensive line where we're banged up.
Would you like to have gone vertical more? But you didn't have the opportunity.
We didn't have time, but it's hard to go vertical when it's 3rd and 15 because they know you're going vertical. So the negative plays play a big part in, you know, what you can do on 3rd and 15. You know, I don't really want to call the offensive plays if it's 3rd and 15. I'd like to call the defenses, you know. And you can't – and that's the total difference in the 3rd down percentages. They had very manageable 3rd downs. We didn't. And you're playing the number 1 defense in the country. I mean, we're trying to make 1st downs on 3rd and 15. And it's not easy if you're playing, you know, Indiana Midget League football team, let alone the number one defense.
You know, they've been the power in the last 4 years, Kutztown. And people around here wonder, how do they do it? They had only 6 transfers. You and I had talked about before where they recruit, New Jersey, out in the eastern part of the. So I guess it's not necessarily numbers or scholarships or whatever. Get the right people for your position.
They got New Jersey, and half their team's from New Jersey.
Yeah.
New Jersey's a great state for football, and especially now because with the portal, a lot of those great kids that play in New Jersey don't get Division I offers now because everybody's going into the portal. So they end up getting them at Kutztown because it's 45 minutes away. And, you know, half their team's from out of state. You know, we don't have that luxury here. We have to recruit in-state.
That doesn't seem fair, does it?
Nothing's fair.
I love it. We have a guy from New Jersey who's going to be coming up here in just a little bit. Here's one from one of our fans. After a physical game, how do you approach preparation and also make sure that your guys are still fresh?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's the fine line. You got to cover what needs to be covered and stay sharp in practice and be ready for Saturday. But, you know, you're into over 3 months now playing football. And, you know, at times you can get wore down. We've played the last 4 weeks. Every game, every play has mattered. You know, everybody's saying, well, you're in a single elimination, one and done. I said, well, that's what we did for 3 weeks during the regular season. And then we played in the PSAC championship game. Now, I mean, if we win the game at Kutztown, does it really change much? I don't know. Kutztown probably still would have got the number 1 seed. And again, you know, everybody said, well, if you win, you're going to have to play them again. And look, you got to play whoever you play. And if you want to keep playing, you got to win. So it doesn't matter who or where you're playing when you get in the playoffs. You win, you keep moving on. You lose, you're done.
We're done, yeah. And Kutztown, of course, shellacked Assumption in the first game of the year.
Right.
I'm sure you watched some of that. And
yeah,
of course, that was way back when.
Well, I mean, Assumption is almost like a totally different team now than they were in the opener. You know, they just they've gotten better and better.
Well, they put that winning streak going.
And they had a long winning streak, and they had a tough game with Bentley. That was a really good game that they very easily they had the lead. They gave up a score late in the game to get beat. They went to Westchester last week and handled them pretty good. So they're a quality opponent. I told the team today in 2017, our team was number 1 in the country, 13-0, and our toughest game was against Assumption in the playoffs until we played West Florida. And that coach is now the head coach at James Madison. So, like, Assumption isn't going to come in here and fear playing IUP. I mean, they were in here and they gave us a battle. We had to score on our last drive to beat them in 2007. We had to drive the length of the field to beat them. You know, so they're tested. I mean, they've played Kutztown, they've played Westchester out of our league. In their league's not very big, so they play teams twice.
Well, I saw they played International, International twice.
They play some of the teams twice because there's not enough teams in their league. And Bentley's really good. Obviously, they ended up winning the league, and they're going to play Kutztown. So that Bentley Assumption game was a really good game, close game, and Bentley beat them 21-17.
At what point did Assumption change their quarterbacks? Because this kid said
it was this last game. I don't really know if the guy got hurt or what the situation is. I really don't know. Yeah. We didn't see him get hurt in any of the games that he's played. They do run him a lot. I mean, they do a lot of quarterback runs with the guy, and he's 6'4". He's a big guy. They've got a big running back, too, that's 6 foot, 215 pounds. It's good, really good running back. Both the quarterback and the running back combined rushing have over 1,200 yards. And they've got a big 6'4" receiver that's really good. He's probably one of the better receivers in the region.
All right, we're going to be back. That's halftime now, so we're going to bring up a guy from New Jersey, as a matter of fact, our football guy coming up here in just a moment. Stay with us. Hawk Talk coming to you live from the Elks Lodge on U92Radio.com and Renda Digital TV. We're right back.
1936, Walker Motor Company in downtown Katanning has served Western Pennsylvania with its no-pressure, no-hassle environment, bringing the kind of family-owned and oriented dealer experience that everyone wants when it comes time to purchase a new or used vehicle. Whether you are looking for a new GMC, pre-owned vehicle, service, or collision repair, come on over to Walker Motors and see why they've been voted #1 for 8 straight years. Visit them at walker-motor.com.
Show your IUP spirit and get your hawk on with help from the Co-op Store, your one-stop location for all your IUP swag and apparel. Check out Norm's Bargain area for $25 fleeces and hoodies. Logo tees only $9.99. The Co-op Store is also the alumni headquarters. IUP is always in your heart, so put something on your front and back that shows that alumni spirit. IUP logoed water bottles, coffee mugs, spirit items for your dorm or man cave. And don't forget the Oak Grove collection. Get your hawk on at the Co-op Store or find them online at IUPstore.com.
Looking for food, fun, and entertainment with a purpose? The Elks Lodge 931 in Indiana is more than a place. It's community. Become an elk. Enjoy food, fun, bowling, music events, and a banquet hall. Distinctly American, Elks are rooted in brotherly love, charity, fidelity, and justice. Annually giving tens of thousands to local charities. We give back not at the Elks, as an elk. See them at 475 South 13th Street and on Facebook today. Elks Lodge 931, where community and compassion meet.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Elks Lodge here in Indiana. Jack Benedict along with Coach Paul Tortorella. Team getting ready for NCAA playoff action coming up Saturday against Assumption, the Greyhounds. 1 o'clock kickoff, and we'll be on the air at 12:30. As we do during the third quarter, we bring a player up, and we have with us here a guy from a position that probably goes unnoticed by most. The long snapper, Ryan Legier. Ryan, welcome aboard.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, good to have you here. Coach brought it up. He said a lot of good players come out of New Jersey. Well, you're one of them. You're from Wall, New Jersey. And the first thing I wanted to ask you is how many years you been at IUP now? It's been a while, huh?
Yeah. So this is my 5th year. I came in 2021. I ended up taking a year off in 22, but I was still around the team. And yeah, I've been I long snapped my freshman year, did long snap and short snaps. Now I'm just short snapping, which I found a love for. So yeah. Long snapper, short snapper. Explain the difference to. Yeah. So the long snapper, Braden Land here. He's been doing long snaps for since 2022 now when he came here. So they're just snapping to the punter. And I'm doing short snaps, so I'm snapping on field goals, extra points, all that stuff. So, yeah. Well, the thing is, one thing that I noticed, you guys are both veterans. In fact, is the team's got a lot of depth at that position, which is a lot of times, Coach.
Right. Yeah.
I noticed.
Usually, one guy does.
One guy. Both. Yeah. Tell us about your high school career. Yeah. So I went to Wall High School, public high school, right in my town. I won 2 state championships when I was in high school, so that is something that attracted me here. Was just that I came from a winning background, and I knew that coming to IUP I'd be able to continue that. So yeah, I had a good career in high school. I did play defense a little bit along with long snapping, but I didn't start snapping until I was a sophomore in high school. So yeah. What is the most difficult thing to learn, and how did you teach yourself or what? Yeah, how did that come about? I had a teammate. He was older. He was a junior when I was a freshman. His name was Joe Shimko. He went a full scholarship to NC State as a long snapper. So when I was a freshman, I kind of got thrown into doing it when I was on the freshman team, and he took me under his wing. I was going over to his house every day, snapping, showed me the right mechanics. Ended up going to Rubio long snapping camps, and I started doing that. I probably went to around 10 camps. You get nationally ranked doing that, and then that's eventually how you get recruited. That's part of it. So I was fortunate enough. I did pretty well. I was top 30 in the nation at one point. Wow. For my class.
So that was something I was proud of. So that's how, I got into it. He really helped me. I mean, showed me the right and wrong things to do, helped me with recruiting.
Yeah, I was going to ask, Coach, how do you recruit players like this that for specialized position,
I mean, obviously you got the video and you hear about them through camps and different avenues that way, and then people don't realize when you bring a guy in on a visit, you can actually work them out. Like, if you're a lineman, you're not, like, blocking somebody. I'm not saying that, but it's easy for, like, specialists,
kickers.
Take them in the gym and go ahead and long snap and let's see what you got. And, like, boom, 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 he snapped, and we're like, yeah, that's what we want. So it's when you're a specialist, it's like, everybody sees quarterbacks on film. You can't really tell about a quarterback unless you see him throw in person, whether it's live at a game or in a camp or he's working out for you, on your campus. And it's the same thing with long snappers and punters and kickers. Like, you got to kind of see them do it in person. And that's why we've been lucky. We've had two great, probably in all Division II football, we've got the best. For 4 years, we've had the best short snapper and long snapper. There can't be anybody that's been better.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah. With Braden Landher and this guy here, Ryan. And you know why you guys are good? Because we never hear anything about you.
Exactly.
Unless maybe once in a while the announcer says, well, so-and-so. Yeah. But I think the depth and the fact of what you've had over the year. And you were first here, so Braden came along later then, right?
Yeah. I came in 21. I did both in 21.
Yeah, he did both in 21.
Yeah, and then Braden came in 22.
Yeah, okay. I was going to ask you, you already described your responsibilities and all. It seems to me that there's a special bond among you guys. Now, I go watch practice. You guys are on the sideline. There are 5 of you there. And, of course, you've got Coach Gene Beachigo, who's been here since – the 6th grade picnic, I think, And he is so accustomed and into what he puts in. Describe that relationship with the holder, your punter, Spittler, you guys, and your backups.
Yep. I mean, we've been together for so long that we were almost forced into, this relationship as bad as it seems. But at the end of the day, we all get along very well. We know each other better than, anybody knows anybody just from being around. Coach Gino, I mean, he knows us better than we know ourselves. I mean, just the relationships we've built over the years, and that's part of why we're so successful. And I feel like why we have so much confidence in each other. Like, we can just worry about ourselves and what we do. And we know that, when I snap, I know that Aiden's going to do his job, get the ball down, and I know, Nick's going to do his job and kick it through the uprights every time.
So you were snickering. Why was it? You got to.
Well, those guys, they're together always. I mean, it's like they're their own, like, fraternity.
Yeah.
And, and they get along, and they're all really good guys. Sometimes, specialists can be a little bit wacky, so to speak, but ours aren't. All of our guys are like normal. Like, they could play regular positions, actually.
Yeah. Well, Aiden Spittler is the punter. He's also the holder. So that's there's another relationship there.
Yeah.
In addition to your place kicker, Nick Andrasi.
Yeah. So that was something that we brought that up to Coach Tort. We felt that if Aiden was our holder, we would be able to get more practice and we'd be able to get that much better. And we did that, and it worked out, and so far so good. We have a lot of confidence in each other, like I said. Like this week when we lined up, there was no doubt in my mind that we're good from, inside 55. I know we're good from anywhere inside 55.
Well, that 50-yard kick. Yeah. The other day, right before halftime, maybe describe that whole situation.
Yeah. So, we're ready at all times. Once we're crossing the 50, we're ready. So, I got all the confidence in Nick to make that kick every time. I got all the confidence in Aiden to get the ball down. And obviously I got all the confidence in myself to get a good snap. And I felt like we got a good snap. We got a good hold. And obviously it was a good kick. And,
Yeah.
you know, he's got more in the tank too. So, and that's something that's big going into, you know, in the playoffs, and being able to have that's going to be an advantage for us. And, you know, we just try and do our part.
Yeah, that's the second longest in IUP history, and the first one was, 30 years ago. So good. The other thing I want to mention, too, which is a credit to the coaches, is you already have some guys in place now as backups now that are freshmen, long snapper Everett Olson and punter Gavin Menser. These guys seem to, they didn't seem to miss a beat. They just guys kind of welcomed them in.
Yeah, they fit in real well. You know, with all of us being a little bit older, we kind of knew what the process was like, and so having them in and them getting to see us play in games, I think it's going to be big for them going into next year. I think they know how we do things here at IUP. They know how the operation is and all that. So it's been good. They'll be good.
What's your major?
I'm phys ed.
Okay.
Phys ed. I'm graduating this December. Going to grad school here at IUP starting next fall. And I'll be GAing on the football staff as well when I'm doing that. Actually just got accepted into the graduate program on Friday. I found that up on the bus ride.
Oh, beautiful.
The touchdown, too.
Yeah. I put this down, family background. There's something in your background that I felt you had told me years ago, and I'm not sure with your parents or
in regards to IUP or in regards to my dad has been a high school coach for 30 plus years, maybe. So that it could be that. Just coming here to IUP, I mean, I just found a love for coaching really. Just how Coach Tort runs the football team, the organization. Just everybody around. It's just the leadership skills, the standard that he holds the players to, and the organization. It's really special, and it's something that I want to be a part of, and I want to get into coaching.
Sometimes it's tough playing for your father, and it can not necessarily be a good thing, but a bad thing. But it sounds like you.
Yeah, so I actually never played for him.
Oh, you didn't play for him?
I did not play for him. So
okay.
He coached at my high school before I got there. He retired. He didn't really retire, but he retired before I got there because he didn't want to get in that boat of coaching me and worrying about the team. So he ended up retiring. He coached at a different school when I was in high school. And now he's back coaching at my high school. So, yeah.
Wow, great. I will tell him, I tell you too, Coach, whenever I picked all-star teams that I've been associated with over the years, I did include long snappers.
Yeah.
There you go. So
like, people don't realize, like, how you don't have to worry about that. And, like, people really just don't understand that they just take it for granted. If you don't have a good long snapper and short snapper, you're on pins and needles every time you punt or kick a field goal or an extra point, because that starts the whole thing. Like the snap, if you don't have a good snap, your punt's not going to be very good if you get it off. And the same thing with extra point field goal. And believe me, now the centers, they get 1 second, and once they get their head up, they're free game, and they'll take some shots, and there's some borderline penalties and non-penalties in that situation. They can't do it right away. You can't hit the center right away on either punt or extra point field goal. So they get a second to get their head up and actually help block. I mean, these guys help them block the A gap.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like those guys are 300 pounds in those A gaps rushing. So it's not like something really – it's not like we're out there, playing – touch football. I mean, these guys are coming hard in the A gap.
Yeah. Takes a while to learn that, doesn't it?
Yep.
Get a quick wake-up call.
Yeah.
Ryan, thanks a lot for coming along.
Thank you.
Good luck Saturday. We'll see you at practice.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for your career. Appreciate it a lot. Ryan Legier going to be back. Fourth quarter coming up with the coach. Hawk Talk from the Elks Lodge here in Indiana, coming to you on U92Radio.com and Renda Digital TV. Be right back.
Furniture to flooring, mattresses to accessories, you'll save big at Dowd's. Dowd's showrooms are filled with furnishings from America's finest manufacturers. You can save thousands on Dowd's floor samples and receive incredible savings on custom orders. Whether you're looking to furnish one room or your entire home, right now it's all on sale at Dowd's. Drive a little, save a lot. Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowd's?
Located along the beautiful Allegheny River in downtown Katanning, the Meredith Inn provides an atmosphere of casual upscale dining. If you're looking for the perfect venue for your next event, look no further than the Meredith Inn. Family gatherings, wedding rehearsal, business meeting, or just a night out. It's perfect for all occasions, and their menu has something for everyone, leaving all full and satisfied. For more information, visit them at themeredithinn.com or call 724-793-7364.
Since 1936, Walker Motor Company in downtown Katanning has served Western Pennsylvania with its no-pressure, no-hassle environment, bringing the kind of family-owned and oriented dealer experience that everyone wants when it comes time to purchase a new or used vehicle. Whether you are looking for a new GMC, pre-owned vehicle, service, or collision repair, come on over to Walker Motors and see why they've been voted #1 for 8 straight years. Visit them at walker-motor.com.
And we're back, folks, with the fourth quarter of our Hawk Talk show for this week. By the way, we'll continue this Hawk Talk from week to week. As long as they play, we'll be here. So, bring your Christmas gifts or whatever. Hey, we have a winner. We have a winner here for our Meredith Inn gift card, one of our sponsors. They've done this each and every Hawk Talk show. And signing up, Don Taylor is our winner. So congratulations. The Meredith Inn. You'll like that, that's for sure. Coach, here's something that was pointed out by one of our fans. Describe the play this particular week, on Saturday, of Nathan Rosario Santos. He had a tremendous game.
Yeah, he did. He was all over the field. Was involved in 13 tackles, couple tackles for a loss, a sack. He's a guy that plays really fast, flies around. Sometimes we'll get out of position every now and then, but he's fast enough to recover and make it right. They were concerned with him, as the game wore on. They started doing some things to try to limit him. But, he was one of our better players, and he got Defensive Player of the Game, obviously, this week.
Yeah, great. By the way, if you folks don't know the pairings for this week, in addition to our game on Saturday, Bentley is going to Kutztown. That's 8 playing at Kutztown's number 1. Frostburg State's playing at J.C. Smith. That's in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Cal U, the Vulcans, go to Richmond to play Virginia Union. And so the bracketing's already set up. Whoever wins IUP's game plays the winner of Kutztown's game.
Right.
And then they go from there.
Right.
How about, you mentioned about the game back in 2017, 27-22, went down to the wire. Dwayne Brown gets the winning catch. Lenny Williams sets a record for most yards rushing in the conference by a quarterback, something. So Assumption is a team that's kind of been around here for year after. They're accustomed to this type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, year in, year out, it's been them in New Haven. And now with New Haven going to FCS, they're year in, year out, they're probably the best program in that league. Obviously, when Coach Chesney was there, they had a lot of success. Then he went to Holy Cross, and then from Holy Cross he went to James Madison, and he's probably on his way to go somewhere else too after this year, the way they're playing. And we played them in 2017, and they were a quality opponent. They had a wide-out returner that played 6 years in the NFL. They had a place kicker that against us, he was probably the best place kicker. He was first-team All-American. He graduated and ended up being LSU's kicker the next year because he still had a year eligibility. So they've been in this, they've been in the playoffs. It's not anything new to them. And they got a really good team this year on both sides of the ball. And the thing about his team in 17, they were great on special teams. You know, they had a surprise onside kick against us that got us. They're really good on special teams, and they're known for that. So, along with offensively and defensively, we're concerned about the kicking game also.
Is there any team that you've played that resembles them in any way?
You know, offensively, they're a lot like everybody. It seems like everybody we play is kind of running the same kind of offense. But they kind of they'll do some things different. They'll go to 4 wide receivers and being spread, and then the next series they'll bring in a big. He's actually a defensive lineman, and he'll go in there and play like H-back, fullback, and then they totally change gears. And then when they get in like a short yardage goal line situation, they actually have 7 offensive linemen in the game. So there's some different things that they do depending on what the situation is. Defensively, actually, they're a little bit like Seton Hill. They're kind of confusing, so we've got to be sharp in regards to seeing what they're in and getting it communicated. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're an 8-2 team that's the best, you know. Bentley and them have been the best 2 teams this year in their league. You know, obviously they went to Westchester last week and beat them pretty bad. So they're a quality opponent. So, but offensively they're very similar to the teams we've been playing scheme-wise, and then defensively they're kind of similar to Seton Hill. Mm-hmm. And then probably this is the best team special teams we're going to play against.
That's interesting. I noticed one thing, too. Their offensive line, they're veterans.
Yeah. And no, I'm glad you mentioned that. They have 12 seniors starting. So they're a veteran team. They're really big in the offensive line, kind of like Kutztown, big, and Ashland, all 300 pounds and 6'3" or taller. So they're really big in the offensive line. But they are senior dominated. Matter of fact, I think it's 14 starters that are seniors, not 12.
Well, there was a very special award, the academic award, that Freeman Wilson won from IUP the other day. The commissioner, Steve Murray, made the. Tell us a little about Freeman Wilson.
Yeah, he's a great kid. He's from Harrisburg area. He's played a little bit in the offensive line. He does everything. He's a great teammate. Obviously, an outstanding student. Is a criminology major, and I'm sure the sky will be the limit for when he, goes into his field because he's just a quality individual.
Yeah. Well, those you need all kind of players, whether it's on the gridiron or behind the scenes. I just want to mention a couple of things here coming up this week. Devin Whitlock, by the way, is in with 71 receptions. The record by Alan Wright, who just played not too many years ago, is 76. He'll break that in a hurry. And as far as Reevy is concerned, Matthew Reevy, he's just up there in every category. He has completed 239 passes, surpassing Andrew Krewatch, who had 237, and that has stood for quite a while. His completion percentage is 71. Lenny Williams had that at 68. That's a little surprise. You think about Lenny and all the moves and the yardage, but he held that. And as far as the yardage goes, he's thrown for 3,107. Quinton Maxwell's record is 3,129, so that'll be broken in a hurry. And his 31 touchdowns, he's in the elite category there. He's in 4th place. So, we look back as IUP fans, and in the last 5 years that you've had quarterbacks come in, one each year, in one way or another, they've all produced for you.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. That's obviously a very important position, and when you're bringing a guy in for 1 year, and then, we had Karst Hunter for 2 years.
2 years,
but we had Maxwell for 1, and then Woodbury, and now obviously Matt. You got to have the right guy because it's a one-and-done situation, and he's got to be a good leader, which Matt is. And, the thing that's impressive about him, he made some plays Saturday that were unreal. But he's a guy that's getting hit pretty good. You know, you never see bad body language. You never see him yelling at the offensive line. I mean, the guy's unbelievable. I mean, he is really tough. Like, and you know, he don't stay down very long. Like the one shot he took Saturday when he stepped up in the pocket, and it was a big time hit. He took a shot and he got right back up, and you know, it was on third down and came to the sideline, and you know, he acted like nothing even happened. And our players see that. Mm-hmm. They respect that. You know, it's all the yards and the great passes and everything that he does. The guy is a great leader, and he's really a tough individual.
That's hard to tell, isn't it? Whenever you're looking at the video highlights
absolutely.
of a player, you don't know till you get him here.
Right, and you know, he's a tall guy, but he's not the biggest guy. I mean, he's kind of lean, you know, long-armed guy, and he doesn't shy away from contact. I mean, he'll stand in there. Like there were 2 passes Saturday that he stood in there and got hit right in the mouth and got it out and got it completed. You know, and here's the other thing. You know, some quarterbacks, they start watching the rush. Like, you know, when they're getting hit a lot and they're getting sacked and teams are, you know, bringing a lot of pressure, that quarterbacks start watching the rush. This guy doesn't do that. He's still looking downfield. Mm. And probably the 2 touchdown passes off the scramble are 2 of the best plays we've had around here in a long time for a quarterback.
Wow, yeah, saying a lot. The other thing, maybe the last thing, is great representation by the IUP community on Saturday.
Yeah, my wife was complaining about she was all tight, couldn't even move in the visiting stands. And, well, we're going to need that this week. You know, our home games, we've had outstanding attendance.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you play a home playoff game, it's like falls on Thanksgiving weekend and the attendance isn't as good. So there's no excuse this weekend. It's just a regular weekend. It's a playoff game. So we're hoping we'll have more people at this game than we've had even during the regular season.
Well, let's hope so. 21 times in the playoffs, and that, you know, you got to work to do that. Great. Good luck, Tort. Have a good practice
Appreciate
week.
It. Thank you.
We'll talk on next time, Hawk Talk. We'll be back with you next Monday. We thank all of you for joining us here. We thank our wonderful sponsors. Daniel Pisarczyk is our producer, and Sam over here operating things to keep us going. Thank you, one and all. Have a Major League night, won't you? And we'll see you next time. We'll see you Saturday with IUP football.
IUP Spirit and get your hawk on with help from the Co-op Store, your one-stop location for all your IUP swag and apparel. Check out Norm's Bargain area for $25 fleeces and hoodies. Logo tees only $9.99. The Co-op Store is also the alumni headquarters. IUP is always in your heart, so put something on your front and back that shows that alumni spirit. IUP logoed water bottles, coffee mugs, spirit items for your dorm or man cave. And don't forget the Oak Grove collection. Get your hawk on at the Co-op Store or find them online at IUPstore.com.